After the Atari Jaguar officially died, there were a handful of games that sorta trickled out that weren't really considered to be official releases, but they sorta kind of were. This is one of those games, and it may be the best of them. Hey, I am the Game Collector, and this is Second Opinion Games, and today I do the review of Breakout 2000 for the Atari Jaguar.
Second Opinion Games.
I'm sure pretty much everyone heard of classic Breakout, and it is on this game, and I decided to start with it because this really shows what Breakout was all about. On the Atari 2600, you used paddle controllers to move your paddly Pong thing back and forth along the bottom of the screen, and it was a solo game. Well, there was some two-player modes, but mostly this was the solo version of Pong. Just try and clear the screen. Breakout 2000 has this, and it really isn't the same because the music is updated, which I am completely okay with. What I'm not okay with is that there's only like 2 levels and then it ends, just very suddenly. It was very tacked on and it doesn't feel right. Now you can customize this game mode. You could turn on catch or just turn on like an invincible ball that just plows through everything, but it doesn't go on long enough for it to be a super fun good time, and that's really my only complaint about the classic version here. I just wish there was more of it. However, the Breakout 2000 mode, there is plenty of. So here in Breakout 2000, there is a total of 9 worlds, with 4 levels per world, and at the end there's a little bonus thing where you throw your ball and it explodes. Pretty nice. And if you happen to clear up all these levels, then it just starts all the way back at level 1. Now, each world, your ball moves faster and faster, which means at the beginning of the game, you really should set it on novice, because on hard, it is really, really difficult, and it's just insane how fast your ball moves. And your ball moves very, very quickly, which leads me to the controls. Of course, you just use the D-pad. There is no rotary controls here whatsoever. The A button is for certain power-ups. And really, that's all the buttons you really have to hit in this game, and except for if you have the Pro Controller, of course, then you have a severe advantage in this game after you learn how to master it, of course. You see, the trigger buttons on top allow your paddle to move even faster. So, make sure you have your paddle set at normal speed when you start the game, so that when you're playing, you can adjust by just pressing that button, making it move faster. Of course, you could use the number on the D-pad to do the same thing, but it is really, really hard to watch and pay attention to everything that's going on at once while searching for the number on the number pad. So use the Pro Controller on this, you have a huge advantage. Now, graphically, I'll admit, this isn't the best looking game. As a matter of fact, it does look like something that could have easily appeared on the Super Nintendo, and it probably would have been a slightly above average game on that console, even without an ending and a conclusion and a story. This is really fun. There's something hypnotizing about hitting this little ball back and forth that I love. I also love the fact that these levels are varied and they stack up and they do some very interesting things. Something that the traditional Breakout just didn't do. This game is actually rather fun, and it can be shared with a second player. And the 2-player mode is freaking awesome. Just keep in mind that your score is attached to your ball. So even if your opponent hits your ball into his blocks, it's going to give you the points. And that's what this mode is all about. If you're playing with the computer, this mode is all about just staying alive, because the computer will beat you every single time, and it will even continue to play even long after you're dead, forcing you to hit reset and start playing him all over again. I like how the back is kind of curved to send your ball over, and two-player mode is extremely fun and is certainly a highlight of this game, especially because it does go on forever, and you really need something to keep you pushing forward, and beating your opponent is definitely that. The music, all in all, in this game doesn't make me get super amped, but it isn't horrible and doesn't hurt my ears. On top of it, it's a Jag game with music, which is much needed in this game, and it does actually sound pretty good, so I'm pretty satisfied with it. The controls, like I said, completely satisfied. The graphics are slightly below average, even for a Jaguar title, but this is Breakout 2000. They really didn't have a lot to work with here to make this a really strong standout title. I mean, Tempest had a little bit more going on than this. This was just hitting blocks with a ball. It really wasn't gonna be super hardcore, and they didn't really know how to make this anything better than what it is. So I have to give them lots of credit for making this game as inventive as possible. Now, there is a little bit of slowdown, especially in two-player mode. Sometimes it can chug along, which I understand. These balls are moving super fast. But the gameplay overall is very solid. Now this game is super expensive, costing you lots of money. So is it worth it? Well, it depends on if you have any friends to play with, I believe, and it depends on if you have a pro controller and you want a game that takes advantage of that, even if it is just slightly. Or if you have a YouTube channel that you pretty much have to review all of the Jaguar games, then yes, of course, it is worth it. Maybe not the $200 you might find it for, but it is definitely worth playing, and it is a lot of fun. I'm probably not going to return to Breakout 2000 again and again, but I am certainly going to pick it up from time to time, just trying to get the top score. And I am a bit of a top score junkie. So, this game, to me, is pretty darn good. But that's just my opinion. Thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoyed watching this review, because I absolutely loved making it, and I want you to be part of the discussion here. Is this game official? Yes or no? I want to know what you guys think out there of all these games that are out for the Jaguar. Please leave all the comments you can. I really want to know what review I should do next. Of course, I actually already know, and it's another one of these elusive Jaguar titles. So, until later, I'll see you again, guys.